that there's these tensions in terms of cross purposes.
Your results are very consistent with the Banks theory of sort of success when you reduce disparity or disagreement. And I know that you can't experiment with these people, but if you could actually persuade them at some point to say that let's have this issue, then figure out where the high disagreement areas are and low, and then move them over.
Yeah.
Among from the low, the people who are sort of disagreeing here go over into a lower disagreement structure. And if then the dissent is again producing much more, the reduction of dissent is producing much more congruence, you will actually improve the.
So what we don't want to do is we don't want to tell them that yet, because we want them to have, we want all this variation, right, unbeknownst to them. But then what I think we could do is once we, don't tell them, don't. But if we could let them do these things where there's a lot of natural variation, then we could, and not just about disagreement, but these other things that people have brought up, and we can go back to them and say, you can improve your design now that we've done these studies, and we can say that that disagreement matters, and maybe you should build that into this template that I was just describing about what makes a good discussion. Maybe as a result of our research, they'll add a few more planks to their own design to improve the quality of the discussion. I just as a social scientist, I'm saying is that I want them to keep that natural variation now, so that we can really make a statement about what matters and what doesn't matter, and then make recommendations back to them.
Yeah, my own suggestion was if this thing runs, let's say, before lunch and after lunch.
Yeah, right.
And if they gave you control of some of these tables, you would have your preset criteria, and then I would basically try to move people who really have seriously disagreed in one, which you now have it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you put them into more congruent groups by whatever criteria you'd like to use. And if that were the case, and that transfer, what you have to show is that maybe some people are sort of liberal but obnoxious, okay? And consequently they're just obnoxious.
Right.
And you put them into a liberal grouping, and they still continue being obnoxious and Christian. And you really don't have a test for this other characteristic. So if you could do that, you really could prove the Banks theory, which would be real nice.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So, as a follow-up to this, the other thing I was thinking, are you familiar with the World Cafe? It's this format, but you're traveling into smaller, intimate groups. And based on what Professor Kruger was just saying, if you, now of course it would cost something, but if people had the RFID device, then you could actually track people and allow them to circulate through the World Cafe, where you're in, say, 3 different sessions throughout the day. It might be interesting to be able to measure that based on what that unique person is and where they are on your scale.
Is the World Cafe an online thing?
World Cafe, I'm not sure. Well, no, it actually happens in person, but they're actually looking to expand it simultaneously over different settings. I've just read a couple of textbooks on the subject.
I bet these guys know them, because they know there's a number of.
I'm sure that they do.
Yeah, these people doing applied deliberative.
Explaining about, and one thing that they're very careful about the type of the table, when there's flowers at the table, when something about the drinks, it's either wines or coffees at the table. The other thing that they do is there's some documentation, whether it's sketch, marker, whatever. There's always paper and little doodling happening. That's recordings at the table as well.
See, I'd want to randomize the coffee or wine, and see what the. But that's great. I bet these guys know that, because it sounds like they're in the same world.
Yeah. And with regard to the health groups that I've been involved in, I've been hearing a lot of talk. Okay, read up on the World Cafe, and maybe we should consider this particular format.
Yeah, because I do this. I'm interested in these sort of empirical practice of deliberation, and it's just great when you come across another data opportunity to, so I'll definitely look them up. And these guys probably know.
I think everybody's classes start at once. I think that's why there's filtering. But yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, thanks for having me.